Hey guys, what's up? Got a guitar project I'm working on here. This guitar I painted and put together a few years ago. It's a Mexican standard stratocaster. I traded this guitar off and I wound up getting it back, and it had a few issues with it when I got it back that I wanted to straighten out. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing in this video. The guitar itself, like I say, is a Mexican standard stratocaster. This guitar was black and I painted it plum crazy purple, and I did this guitar on a Roadrunner theme. Of course, I got my Roadrunner decal on there. That is an actual decal from a Plymouth Roadrunner. Painted the custom stripe on it here, clear coated over it, color sanded it, buffed it slick. This is PPG automotive paint that's on here. When I got the guitar back, it had some scuffs and blemishes on it, so I took it all back apart, buffed the body down to get the scratches and everything out of it, and got it back to a nice good gloss. No blemishes or anything. And I've already gone, and you've seen me do this in some other videos, but I've already gone and added a little extra shielding down inside here with some aluminum foil, and you can see some other videos to tell you about that. But mainly what I'm trying to do with this guitar is get it back cosmetically the way I want it, and also while I have it apart, I'm gonna upgrade the electronics, because it was a Mexican Stratocaster, which is, you know, they're good guitars, but the electronics are a little bit flimsy on them. The only thing I'm going to be using off of this whole pickguard assembly, the pickguard has got some scratches on it, and the knobs and covers are getting dingy, and like I say, the electronics are a little flimsy. So the only thing that I'm going to be using are the pickups, because I had already changed these pickups and upgraded them. These are a set of American Standard Fender pickups, and they're pretty nice, good sounding pickups, so we're going to reuse those. But just to show you what I've got a new Fender pickguard. It's already got the shielding on the back of it, so we don't have to do that. Nice quality pickguard. Got a new accessory kit. Got all the knobs, pickup covers and everything, switch tip, all the stuff that's gotten kind of dingy. Going to replace it and update it, because sometimes the yellowed looking pickguards look pretty cool depending on what kind of guitar it is, but on this particular guitar with the white stripe, the yellowed pickguard doesn't look really that good. So I'm going to upgrade that. And while I've got it out, I got this right here, and they call this a super strat kit. Got it from guitarelectronics.com. It's got all the tone and volume pots, a new 5-way switch, the tone capacitors, and all the wiring diagrams. Everything is included in that. Pretty neat kit. And I also got some of this cloth covered wiring, which I went over this in a video of another guitar that I did. I really like this wiring. It's cloth covered, it's pre-tinned. They call this pushback wiring. All you have to do is push the insulation back. You don't have to strip it and everything. But anyway, like I say, I've already done that on another video. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, since I've got the body the way I want it, I'm going to go ahead and mount my pickups and all my electronics in my pickguard, and then I'll come back and get all the wiring laid out and try to get that stuff soldered up.
Gonna have myself some fun. Tied down and twisted, babe. You got my heart wrapped up in chains. I'm torn by the way you treat me.
This wiring is a little bit tedious, and you just got to have patience with it, especially when you're completely redoing all the electronics. Switching out a set of pickups is not too bad, but whenever you're changing out all the pots and everything, this is kind of tedious. So just be patient and keep checking your wiring diagram. Make sure you got everything in the right location. If you've done enough of them, you know, you'll be pretty confident where everything goes. But until you get to that point, be sure you check and double check your wiring diagram. Whenever you're soldering, make sure that you get a good shiny solder joint so you don't have a cold solder joint. If you do, you wind up crackling and popping, just problems that you don't want. The main way to prevent that is to make sure you got everything good and hot. Make sure your wire's pre-tinned. If it doesn't already come that way, go ahead and pre-tin it, which means put a little solder on it. And when you're soldering the wire on there, make sure that after you've taken your soldering iron off, that the wire doesn't move while the solder's cooling. So hopefully all those joints look pretty good. Hopefully everything's okay. I just put that wire on there and I crimped it on there. I folded it over, crimped it on with my needle nose pliers. So the wire is already there before I even put any solder on it. Number one, it makes it easier to solder because you only got two hands and you can't hold the wire at the same time. And number two, like I said, you've already got a pretty good connection before you even put any solder on it. So it's less likely that it's going to break. I like to put all my grounds in the same place, and that way I know I've got a good solid connection, good solid ground. So here's the ground for my pickups, and here's the ground that goes from my tone pots. This is going to go out to the input jack, and this ground, which you can see, I already put a little lug on the end of it, put a screw through it, and ground it on the body of the guitar. So this is one connection right here that we want to make sure we get this connection good and solid. Okay, got my pick guard loaded with all my electronics, pickups, everything in there. Got everything soldered on the back of it. I've taped up my wires, got everything nice and neat, so whenever we get this ready to go back in the guitar, it should lay down in there flat with no problem. But I tried my best to make my solder joints as nice as possible, because like I said, you want good solder joints, you don't want any cold solder joints, you don't want static or popping or feedback or anything like that in your electronics. So we'll go ahead and get this put in the guitar and get this thing put back together.